Have you ever wondered what it's like to live in Antarctica? Well, this is a tour of Lake Fryxell, a long running scientific research camp in the McMurdo Dry Valleys. From space, Antarctica looks vast and empty. But here, in one small valley, we return year after year to study change. Everything begins at McMurdo Station, the hub of Antarctic science and logistics. From McMurdo, we travel by helicopter to the Dry Valleys, one of the coldest, driest deserts on Earth. Lake Fryxell sits in Taylor Valley, and on the north shore is our tiny field camp. This is the main hut. It was rebuilt in 2015-16 to replace an aging Jamesway, and it's home base for science on this lake. So welcome to Lake Fryxell. What is camp actually like? Well, we're currently in the main hut, so let's first take a look outside. What you first notice is a lot of renewable energy, and in the background we have Tent City. So the dry valleys are a really sunny place, and this large solar array provides us with all the electricity we need. Here's my tent. You can see that it is nicely rocked down. We're dealing with frozen ground here, so we can't hammer in any kind of tent pegs. So the rocks will have to do, which is necessary because it gets incredibly windy here, and we don't want our tent blowing away to the ocean. Here's what the inside of a tent looks like. Lots of duffel bags, foam pad, sleeping bag, fleece liner, crampy camp pillow, book, socks, more socks, more socks, and some clothes. First things first, get on the trusty camp sandals. Then, head outside for the morning. Out here we have a series of science labs and lots of extra storage. I bet you've always wondered what a bathroom in the McMurdo Dry Valleys looks like. Importantly, we have reinforced hinges so the wind doesn't blow the door off. We have our number 2, we have our number 1, which funnels into a can, which you would pick up and drain into the fancy urinal. Outside, it drains into these gray water barrels. Want to make sure that we don't overfill them because these will freeze and expand if they're too full. And then once they're full, they get capped and they get flown out of here. Number 2 is a bucket situation. So once the bucket's full, it gets its lid put on and it gets flown out of here. So we also have these labs. So you can see, a little weathered, but a lab. So this is the instrument lab where we keep a lot of our electronics, things that can't freeze, charging up some batteries, have some instrumentation. Great place to get some work done out of the elements. So here's the front door of the Lake Fryxell hut. But before we go in, show you this. These are big chunks of ice that we end up using for drinking water. Early in the season, we get this ice from nearby glaciers. We just drive an ATV down the edge of the lake and bring it back to camp. So now if we go inside, nice freezer door, keep out the elements. We got a handy mudroom because we have lots of coats and lots of boots. So here we are inside, and you can see it's pretty spacious and has about everything you'd want in a camp kitchen and hut. And here we have one of our stoves, and on it we have a pot melting some of our glacier berries into drinking water. And then, of course, that water is filtered to be made into coffee. We have a pour over, grinder, coffee, grinder, and of course a kettle. And the other side of the hut is for getting work done. Meanwhile, outside a helicopter is landing. Helicopters here are critical for our scientific mission, as they provide transportation for humans, but also move around a lot of important gear. Remember that bucket system? Well, here we are sending away 26 pounds of human waste. So keeping a place like Lake Fryxell Camp running is a shared effort. Pilots, carpenters, communication, and environmental support. all make this possible. We're fortunate to work in this remote ecosystem, and we do our best to live and work here carefully, leaving as little impact as possible. And of course, all of this is supported by the US National Science Foundation, which for decades has enabled extraordinary science at the bottom of the world.